While I was working hard to make money outside, my wife met her first love again. In order to have sex with that man, she left my precious daughter to that man's son, a man with super male syndrome. After her daughter's tragic death, she agreed to my request for divorce, saying that we should part ways amicably, and then turned around and went to live with her first love. A love-brained mother who neglects her daughter, and a father who is a murderer. My daughter is dead. Why should I let them have an easy life? I was on a business trip and received a call from the police just after I got up in the morning. The police asked me if I was Bella Liang's father. I was confused and asked the police why they asked this question after answering. The serious voice of the police came from the phone. At about 5 o'clock this morning, a sanitation worker found a plush doll about 1.3 meters tall in the grass by the river in the park. When the sanitation worker picked it up, he found that the weight was wrong. He opened it and found the body of a little girl inside. I thought I was hallucinating. It was past 5 in the morning, and Bella should have been sleeping at home with my wife. How could she be inside the stuffed doll by the river in the park? The policeman's voice rang again. We found a dead phone watch on the body. After charging it, we found your phone inside. Your daughter's body is now in the XX police station. Please come over. I felt a chill rising from the soles of my feet, and every pore in my body was so cold that I was trembling. My daughter should be at home, and my wife is a full-time mother. They should still be sleeping at home at this time. Did you find the wrong person? There's Mom's phone number in my watch. We've called, but no one answered. We've texted you the address of the police station. Please come over first. After hanging up the phone, my legs were shaking so much that I couldn't stand. I took 2 steps back and fell down on the edge of the bed. How could that be? Before I went on a business trip, my daughter hugged me obediently and sensibly, and told me to be careful and take care of myself when I was out there, and to eat on time. We have agreed that when I return home from my business trip, I will take my wife to Disneyland with me. She was very happy at that time, and said with anticipation that she would prepare the little dress to wear to Disneyland before I returned home. I picked up the phone that had fallen on the ground and called my wife. I called 3 times in a row, but no one answered. When I called the 4th one, the phone was picked up. My wife's hoarse voice was filled with impatience. What are you doing so early in the morning? Aren't you very busy on your business trip? Why are you calling me? I didn't think about why she spoke in that tone and asked with a trembling voice, Where's Bella? Is Bella next to you? He's not here. Where's Bella? I couldn't help but yell. Where did she go? Why are you so fierce? The wife said dissatisfiedly. Yesterday I took Bella to play with a friend. My friend has a son and Bella is about the same age as him, so I let them play together. Bella is at my friend's house. I forced myself to calm down. Are you at your friend's house now? No, I'm at home. I saw Bella having fun with her friend's son, so I let Bella stay at my friend's house yesterday. Go to your friend's house to find Bella right now. When you see Bella, call me on video. I hurriedly said, Go right now. Why are you in such a hurry? It won't be too late to go after I wake up. I'll take a nap. I was so anxious that my voice broke. The police just called me and said that at about 5 o'clock this morning, a sanitation worker found a stuffed doll in the grass by the river in the park. Inside the stuffed doll was the body of a little girl, our Bella. I asked them if they had recognized the wrong person, and they said no. You should go find Bella right now. I won't feel at ease until I see her. There was silence on the other end of the phone, and then I heard the rustling sound of my wife getting dressed. I know. I'll go over there and call you via video when I see Bella. She muttered. The police must have found the wrong person. Bella was staying at my friend's house. How could she be in the grass by the river? After hanging up the phone, I felt something was not right and was very anxious. I decided to ask for leave from my boss and go back to Haicheng to take a look. I bought the nearest high-speed train ticket and returned to Haicheng in less than 2 hours. On the way home from the high-speed rail station in a taxi, the police called again and urged me to go to the police station as soon as possible to claim the body. I asked the driver to turn around and go to the police station. I planned to explain clearly to the police that my daughter is at my wife's friend's house and that the body is not my daughter. I want them to hurry up and find the child's real parents. After arriving at the police station, the police didn't listen to my explanation at all and took me directly to the morgue to see if the body was my daughter. I wanted to say no, but when the white cloth was lifted, my daughter's familiar and tender little face hit my eyes hard. It seemed as if an invisible force was strangling my neck, making it impossible for me to utter a word or even to breathe. The police asked, Is this your daughter? My daughter's previously rosy and lively face was now blue and purple, and her expression was frozen in fear and helplessness. The big, watery eyes were now staring wide open, the pupils were gray, and no emotion could be seen. After I came to my senses, I quickly walked to the iron bed, grabbed my daughter's stiff body, and couldn't help crying. Why? How could this happen? I just called my wife, and she said my daughter is at her friend's house. The police officer sighed and said, My condolences. I lay on my daughter's tiny body, sobbing in agony. Since my daughter was born, I have worked very hard so that she can live a free and easy life in the future, just hoping to give her enough confidence. She is the treasure I hold in my hands, and the continuation of my life. I have imagined countless times what difficulties she will encounter on her way to growing up. I work so hard so that when she encounters difficulties in the future, I will be able to help her solve them all. But why was she lying stiff in the morgue? After I calmed down a bit, the police handed me a blue phone watch and said, "This is your daughter's phone watch. When your daughter died, she was holding this phone watch tightly in her hand. We saw in the call log that the last call was to her mother." At this point, the police paused before continuing. "Based on what you just said, we suspect your wife may have clues about the murderer, so we need her to cooperate with our investigation." I nodded. "We will definitely cooperate with the investigation and find the murderer who killed my daughter. I want the murderer to pay with his life." I took out my cell phone and called my wife, but no one answered after several calls. I felt uneasy and said to the police, "My wife might still be at home. I will go back to find her and bring her here. We are the police in charge of this case." The police officer who had been talking to me pointed to his colleague next to him and said, "We will go with you. Let your wife take us to her friend's house to see if we can find any useful clues." When I returned home with the police, the house was empty, not a single person in sight. Moreover, the furnishings in the living room and the room were exactly the same as before I went on a business trip, making me feel like my wife and daughter had not lived at home since I went on a business trip. I took out my cell phone and called my wife again. This time the call was connected. I didn't wait for her to speak before I said directly, "Tell me the address of your friend's house. No matter where you are now, go to your friend's house immediately, and we will meet there. I'm on my way to my friend's house now. You work hard. I'll see Bella later. Give me the address right now." I yelled. My wife seemed frightened by me. She muttered a few words that I was too fierce and told me the address of her friend's house. I took note of it with a pen and paper, hung up the phone, and rushed over there with the police. When they arrived at the gate of the community, the police pointed to the park next to it and said, "Your daughter's body was found there." I turned around and looked over, feeling so heartbroken that I couldn't speak. Bella was not a very courageous person, and she must have been very scared and terrified when she was on the verge of death. As her father, I couldn't help her at all when she was so scared. When I reached the door of my wife's friend's house, I raised my hand and knocked. Not long after, the door opened from the inside, and my wife saw two policemen standing behind me. She was stunned for a moment, and then she said unhappily, "Did you call the police?" I looked at her steadily without saying anything. Since I became busy with work, my wife has been taking care of our daughter most of the time. It has been so long since the accident, but my wife seems not to have realized the seriousness of the problem. "Victor, what do you mean? Speak." "Bella is dead, and these two policemen are in charge of Bella's case." My voice choked with sobs. My wife was stunned. After she came to her senses, she smiled and said, "Don't joke with me. Xiaojia said that Bella was playing around and sneaked out while he was in the room. We can just call a few more people to find Bella later." The policeman took 2 steps forward, took out his phone from his pocket, opened the photo album, and showed his wife a few photos. "This is your daughter's body. We suspect you have clues to the murderer, so we came to investigate." My wife couldn't believe it. She turned to look at me and said in a trembling voice, "The photo is photoshopped, isn't it?" I ignored her, pushed her aside, and walked inside. As soon as I walked into the living room, I saw a man sitting on the sofa like a big boss. "Tony." Tony looked up at me and smiled at me. "Long time no see, Victor." I clenched my hands into fists at my sides, feeling angry and sad. "Tony, I've always known about this guy. He is my wife's first love and the white moonlight that my wife never forgets." I turned around and asked sarcastically, "Lily, did you leave Bella alone in this strange place just to hang out with this guy?" What are you doing so weird?" She cried and said, "Bella is my daughter who I carried for 10 months and gave birth to. How could I abandon her? I just let her stay here because I saw that she played well with Zifang's son." As she spoke, she started to cry loudly. "Did you know that Zifang's son has autism? Bella played with him and helped him become less autistic, which is a good thing. How could I have thought that Bella would sneak out and get killed?" After I calmed down, my mind became much clearer. I turned to the police and said, "Bella is a very obedient child, and she is not very courageous. She would not dare to sneak out in an unfamiliar place." Suddenly, I remembered that Bella was found inside a stuffed doll about 1.3 meters tall, and I suddenly realized that Tony has a son. Could it be that the stuffed doll belongs to Tony's son? I told the police about this idea. After listening, the police walked up to Tony and asked, "Where is your son?" "Leon, Bella was playing with your son yesterday. Ask him to come out so we can ask him some questions. He's still sleeping in his room. I'll go get him out." After Tony brought Jack out, the police started asking questions. Jack looked confused, as if he didn't understand what was going on, but he still answered the police's questions seriously. "I don't know when Bella ran out. I went to bed very early last night because Dad and Aunt Lingling went out for dinner. I also told my sister to go to bed early and not watch TV for too long. I have never seen this stuffed doll. I am a boy. Stuffed dolls are for girls to play with. I don't like to play with them." After some questioning, the policeman came up to me and said, "Let's check the surveillance cameras in the community first. We should be able to find the suspicious person through the surveillance." As soon as she finished speaking, Lily suddenly rushed to Jack and grabbed his shoulders tightly. "You're lying. You obviously like playing with stuffed dolls. When I first met you, I gave you a 1-meter tall stuffed bear. The policeman's face suddenly became serious. He tapped a few times on his phone and walked over to let Lily see. Is it this stuffed doll? Lily saw the disemboweled stuffed doll on the police's phone and nodded tremblingly. Yes, this is it. The two policemen looked at each other and said to Tony, please bring your son with us to the police station. I also wanted to go, but the police said that the subsequent investigation could not be made public and asked me to go home and wait for news. A few days later, the police informed me that the results of the investigation were out. Bella was killed by Jack. Jack suffers from super male syndrome, but because he is too young, he will not be criminally punished as he will not turn 12 in a month. However, his father has been ordered to discipline him strictly and has been arranged to receive psychological treatment and corrective education. I cannot accept this result. My Bella, she was only 6 years old, and her life stopped before she could see the colorful world. Why can the murderer who brutally killed her escape legal punishment and be arranged for psychological treatment and corrective education just because he was under the age of 12? This kind of natural evil with super male syndrome shouldn't be able to kill people and get away with it so easily. After Lily came back from outside, I put the divorce agreement in front of her and said in a serious tone, sign it. She took the divorce agreement and stared at the big words on the cover for a long time before asking me, do you really want a divorce? I'm also very sad about Bella's matter. I thought Xiaojia was autistic, so he let Bella play with him, but I didn't expect he actually had super male syndrome. As she spoke, she started to cry. I regret it. I signed it. I looked unhappy. Bella trusts you very much, but you are not a qualified mother. When she heard this, she cried even harder. Since we can't survive anymore, let's just leave it at that. She signed her name on the divorce agreement without even looking at the contents. I took the divorce agreement and said coldly, you made a big mistake in your marriage, but considering your contribution to the family over the years of marriage, I will give you 1/3 of my savings, but you will not get any share of the house or car. Well, she raised her hand and wiped away her tears. Let's part ways in peace. When I thought of Bella lying on that cold iron bed with her face blue and her body stiff, I felt so heartbroken that I couldn't breathe. How can we part ways amicably? I will make everyone who killed Bella pay the price. That night, Lily packed her luggage and moved to Tony's house. Seeing Tony was so anxious that he couldn't eat, she couldn't help but say, because of you, I lost my daughter and got divorced. What do you want to do now? Tony looked annoyed. My son is still in the police station. How can I not worry? She slammed her chopsticks on the table. Your son is a bad guy. He stuffed my daughter into the stuffed bear I gave him and suffocated her to death. I haven't told you how upset I am. Are you still worried about him now? What do you mean? Tony's face turned ugly. Xiaojia is over 11 years old this year. His mother died during childbirth. I have raised him with all my heart and soul for the past 11 years. How can I not worry about him? I raised my daughter myself. You're worried about your son, but don't I feel bad for my daughter? Lily burst into tears as she spoke. But now that things have come to this, there is no way to turn back. Your son has super male syndrome, which is incurable. He is born evil. If he stays with you, he will definitely cause trouble again. It is better to send him back home and let your parents take care of him. Tony's face was gloomy. I'll feel more at ease if I take care of him myself. After a month, the cool-off period ends. After Victor and I get the divorce certificate, I can marry you. Then we can have another child. You should give your love to the child and stop thinking about Jack. I didn't ask him to pay for my daughter's life because I was doing you a favor. Tony sneered. Even if you give birth to 10 more children, they can't compare to how important Xiaojia is to me. Lily was stunned. Xiaojia's mother is the woman I love most in my life. Xiaojia is the only bloodline she left. I will never give up on Xiaojia in my life. Lily asked sharply, that's not what you said before. When we met again, you said that even after so many years, you still couldn't forget me. You found that I was still the one you loved the most, so you wanted to rekindle your relationship with me. Don't get excited. Tony calmed down a bit and said soothingly, Xiaojia is my biological son. I am a responsible person with flesh and blood. If I can even give up my own son, it means that I am not a good person and I am not a qualified father. Can you still be assured of giving birth to a child for me? Lily was extremely sad. But he killed my daughter. He didn't want to do that. Super male syndrome is a congenital disease. He was affected by the disease and did such a cruel thing. After we get married, you will be Xiaojia's stepmother. You have to understand that he can't control himself because of his illness. I didn't pay much attention to what happened after Lily and Tony started living together. I asked a professional to restore the recording of the last call in Bella's phone watch. When I clicked on the recording, Bella's panicked and helpless voice rang out. Mom, help me. I'm so scared here. It's so dark. Lily's voice sounded nonchalantly. The power is out. No, Xiaojia asked me to play a game I don't like. I feel uncomfortable and want to go home. Mom, please take me home. Don't make trouble. Your brother Xiaojia is sick. Playing with him will help him recover. Just play with brother Xiaojia. Mom and Uncle Zifong will come back after dinner. Brother Xiaojia hit me, and it hurts. Bella. Lily's tone sank. Mom always thought you were a good kid. How come you even said that Xiaojia would beat you up just to trick Mom into going back? You really disappoint Mom. Mom, I didn't lie to you. Brother Xiaojia really beat me and made me wear a black eye mask. He pushed me to a very dark place. I feel very uncomfortable now. Mom, please take me home. I want to go home. All right, your brother Xiaojia is just quiet. You can't lie to us and make us misunderstand him just because he is quiet. A selfish child will only make people hate him. Don't be so selfish. I still have to have dinner with Uncle Zifan. That's it. Mother. Beep, beep. The recording ends the moment the call is hung up. I closed my eyes, feeling so heartbroken that I couldn't breathe. When Bella was dying, all Lily wanted to do was have dinner with Tony. Whenever she wasn't focusing on rekindling her old relationship with Tony, she could tell something was wrong with Bella. I took out my cell phone and changed the account names on all major platforms to Super Male Syndrome Boy brutally murdered my daughter. Then I posted all the information I had collected and sorted out in the past 2 days on all major platforms and spent money on promotion. The effect is very good. The posts I published were quickly pushed to the top of the hot searches on major platforms. More and more people are paying attention to this matter, and the attention to the topic of supermale syndrome continues to rise. After the popularity reached a certain level, I edited a paragraph of text to tell everyone that Jack did not have to be punished because he was under the age of 12, and the authorities also arranged psychological treatment and corrective education for him. As the father of the victim, I cannot accept such an outcome, and I want justice for my daughter. This incident has caused a lot of discussion among people. Most people are discussing whether murderers who are born evil need to be corrected. If they are not sentenced to death, there is a high probability that the next person will be brutally killed by them in the future. There are even well-known doctors who have come out and published articles saying that supermale syndrome is a genetic problem and that things in the genes are innate and cannot be changed. For a time, the official Weibo account of the police station handling Bella's murder case was overwhelmed, and netizens left comments and questioned it. Because the incident became so serious, the authorities had to issue a notice to tell everyone that this case did exist, but that the handling result was legal. This result made everyone dissatisfied, but hundreds of thousands of people questioning it failed to make the authorities change the outcome. Netizens were incited and began to check Jack's background. Soon, Tony's identity was revealed, and also Lily, who had been going in and out with him for the past few days, was exposed. At first, netizens thought that Tony and Lily were Jack's biological parents and scolded them harshly. But someone who claimed to be Lily and I's college classmate broke the news anonymously. He said that Lily was the biological mother of the girl killed by Jack, and he had heard from Lily's high school classmates that Lily and Tony were each other's first love, but after graduation, they were separated and broke up because the long-distance relationship could not last. Later, Lily and I met and fell in love during college. After graduation, she married me and gave birth to Liang Bella. He also attended Liang Bella's first birthday. At that time, I thought Lily and I had a good relationship and a happy marriage, but I didn't expect something like this to happen. This revelation made netizens think of many possibilities, and many people felt that Lily was a vicious and unscrupulous love-minded woman. Oh my God, this woman couldn't have sent her daughter to play with her first love son with supermale syndrome just to get back together with her first love. The little girl is so pitiful. She met such a mother. She only lived for 6 short years and died tragically. This mother has a big problem. Her daughter was suffocated to death by her first love son, but she still lived with her first love. This reminds me of a previous news report about a vicious father who pushed his own children down the stairs in order to please his girlfriend. Have the police investigated the case? Did the mother know that her daughter would be killed by the boy with supermale syndrome, but she still sent her daughter to him? Did the mother break the law? The omnipotent netizens dug out Lily and Tony's workplaces and addresses. Within 2 days, Lily and Tony were interviewed by their respective leaders, who said that the bad influence they had caused was too serious, causing the company to be implicated and boycotted by netizens, and the company's public relations had no effect. Now the company has no choice but to persuade them to quit. Of course they were unwilling to do so, but their leader threatened them directly, saying that they had violated company regulations by causing a bad influence, and that even if they sued, the company would win 100. Lily and Tony had no choice but to pack up and go home. I had been following the situation online, and when I saw they were fired, a smile appeared on my face. I took Bella's photo and touched her bright and lively smiling face. Bella, Daddy will make the murderer pay for your life. Putting them out of work is just the first step. After this incident, their reputation was ruined, not only in Haicheng, but also in other big cities. No company would dare to hire them. I think they won't be able to hold on for more than a month, and will have to take Jack back home. I know Lily's character, and I never doubt her love for Bella. Bella was the one she gave birth to after 10 months of hard work and raised by herself, so she felt sorry for Bella. However, netizens are right. She is truly a love-brained person. Tony and she were childhood sweethearts, and he was her first love. She loved Tony so much that she cheated on him during their marriage. Even after Bella was killed by Jack, she still chose to stay with Tony. But no matter how strong the love is, it cannot withstand the increasingly heavy pressure in reality. Now she still loves Tony deeply and can give up everything to stay with him. But what will happen when the love fades? I waited patiently. As I expected, within a month, Tony went to the police station, communicated with the police, and took Jack home. The next day, they called a pickup truck, loaded all the things into it, and took Lily and Jack back home. Public opinion on the internet became increasingly intense, especially after the news that Jack was released. The online violence against Tony, Jack, and Lily became more and more severe. Many people said they were willing to raise funds to find someone to beat them up. I think these are just netizens speaking without thinking in anger. They are just talking, and they will not really do it. But Tony and Lily have been under high pressure recently, and they are terrified at the slightest sign of trouble. They think netizens will do what they say. So whenever I go out, I wear a big hat and a mask, covering myself tightly. Even if I feel carsick and want to vomit, I dare not take off the mask in front of other people and force myself not to vomit. The first day they returned home, Lily called me. "Victor, I know you are very angry and can't get over it, but the living have to look forward. Bella is dead. I am very sad, but there is no way to bring Bella back to life. She definitely doesn't want you to become such a reckless lunatic for her. She just wants you to live well. I already have a new life. You should move on, marry another wife, and have a child, and transfer your love for Bella to that child. Stop being obsessed with this matter like a madman." I really want to scold her, but I know that scolding her won't solve any problems. I tried to calm down and said calmly, "I recalled the last call Bella made to you. She was stuffed into a stuffed doll by Jack. On that night when her life was slipping away, you and Tony made love in the hotel bed. Bella loves you very much. She once said that you were the best mother in the world. However, you pushed her to a tragic death with your own hands. Bella can understand that I couldn't get back in time to save her, but I can never forgive you. My beloved mother didn't believe her when she asked for help. She said she was selfish and deceitful, and hung up the phone directly. After saying that, I hung up the phone without giving Lily a chance to speak. She doesn't deserve a new life. Jack killed Bella, but she was the one who handed Bella over to that little beast with her own hands." My words made Lily fidget. That night, she dreamed of Bella covered in bruises. Bella stared at him with a pair of lifeless black pupils and asked stiffly, "Mom, why didn't you save me? Why didn't you believe me?" Bella was beaten so painfully. Bella was in so much pain. She woke up from a nightmare, and from then on she looked unhappy when she saw Jack. He also tried every means to suppress and torture Jack in the name of education. But Jack is Tony's only son. Even though he has a bad temper and often smashes things and beats people until they bleed, Tony's parents still love him as if he were their own life. Lily's behavior made Sheen's parents very dissatisfied, and they often had conflicts with Lily because of this. Lily didn't tolerate them and used vicious words to slander and curse them. After a while, Tony finally couldn't hold on any longer and pushed Lily to the ground, yelling at her, "What are you doing? I've said before that you are Xiaojia's stepmother, and you should take good care of him and teach him. I'm not asking you to torture him in every possible way." Lily looked at Tony in disbelief. "What do you mean? This little bastard is born bad. It takes more time and energy to teach him well. I'm helping you out of kindness, and you blame me? Do you think I have no brains?" Tony shouted coldly. "You just feel unhappy that Xiaojia killed your daughter, so you tortured him like this. My parents are right. You are not worthy of being Xiaojia's stepmother. Also, don't let me hear you call my son a little beast in the future. He is my treasure, not a little beast." Lily laughed angrily. "Do you think that spoiling him like this will have any good results? This beast killed someone at the age of 11. When facing the police's questioning, he lied so calmly to weaken the police's suspicion. If you continue like this, he will disembowel you. Every one of you will die more miserably than my Bella." As soon as he finished speaking, there was a slap sound and Lily's face was slapped hard by Tony, and it became red and swollen in an instant. "Your daughter died because it was her destiny. Even if my son didn't kill her, she would have died in an accident during that time. It was her own destiny. My son was just helping her. It's just heaven. What's the point of being so stubborn?" Lily didn't expect Tony to say something like that. She stared at Tony for a long while, then suddenly laughed. "Yeah, you're right. It's Bella's fate. I'm just being too picky." Seeing that she had calmed down, Tony took 2 steps forward, bent down, and helped her up from the ground, his voice becoming gentle. "The past is the past. You should treat Xiaojia well in the future. We should live a good life as a family. When the time is right, we will give Xiaojia a brother or sister." "Good." Lily lowered her head. "I have to look forward and not be stuck in the past." Tony nodded with satisfaction. "Well, I'm glad you figured it out." In the next month, Lily acted like a good wife and mother, taking good care of Tony and Jack. He didn't torture Jack like he did before, and even when Jack beat him until he bled, he never complained a word. Tony and Sheen's parents let down their guard against her. Sheen's parents are old and can only do some farm work and small handicrafts to make money. The money they earn is not enough, and the money Tony saved from his previous work is almost used up. He asked Lily to take out money for household expenses. Lily said helplessly, "When Victor and I divorced, I didn't get much money. I didn't get any share of the house or car. During this period, Xiaojia always asked me to buy things for him. I only have a few $100s left." Tony had no choice but to go out and find a job. Lily took advantage of the time when Sheen's parents were working in the fields and Tony was out looking for a job to trick Jack to the riverside in the woods. He picked up a big rock and smashed it at Jack when he wasn't paying attention. He fell to the ground with a headache, but did not faint immediately. Seeing him lying on the ground unable to move, Lily took out the kitchen knife she had prepared in advance from her backpack and chopped him hard with the resentment and anger of the past few months, again and again. When he was about to faint, the severe pain in his body made his mind clear for a short time, and he screamed in pain. It was unknown how long it was before Lily stopped what she was doing. Looking down, she saw Jack, who was no longer in human form, and she grinned. He threw away the kitchen knife in his hand, took out his mobile phone, took videos and photos of the corpse, and sent them all to Tony. Afterwards, she blocked Tony's WeChat and phone number, took out the clean clothes she had prepared in advance, changed the clothes stained with Jack's blood, and turned and left. That afternoon, a local police station issued a wanted notice offering a reward for Lily. The wanted notice also said that this person's killing methods were cruel and brutal, and asked everyone to pay more attention and call the police immediately if they see him. When I saw this wanted information on the trending search, I was preparing for Bella's funeral. Although I didn't see how tragic Jack's death was, I know that the murderer paid with his life and Lily became a wanted criminal, and she will never have a good life in the future. What I didn't expect was that 2 days later, I would see Lily at Bella's funeral. Lily, dressed in tattered clothes and with messy hair, rushed into the funeral like a madman. Friends and relatives were all shocked, but soon someone recognized Lily and started pointing at her and talking about her. What everyone said was unpleasant, but Lily seemed not to hear them. She walked to Bella's tombstone and knelt down. "Bella, I'm sorry. Mom has already avenged you." Just as I said this, bursts of screams suddenly rang out from the side. Some people shouted, "Run, run. Call the police. Hurry up and call the police." I was startled, and before I could turn around to see what was happening, my cousin who was standing next to me pulled me back a long distance. After I steadied myself, I had time to see what was happening. As soon as she turned around, she saw Tony holding a sharp kitchen knife and slashing at Lily crazily, cursing, "You bastard." Tony looked so crazy when he committed the crime that no one dared to stop him. Fortunately, there was a police station less than 2 kilometers away from the cemetery. The police arrived quickly, subdued Tony, handcuffed him, and took him away. Several police officers stayed behind to check the scene, and all witnesses were temporarily unable to leave. Lily had died due to excessive blood loss and was lying in front of Bella's tombstone, her hands still tightly grasping the tombstone. A policeman's puzzled voice sounded. This person must have been in great pain after being hacked like this. Why did he stare at the tombstone until he died? In the photo, his expression did not look like pain, but relief. I know that Lily looked relieved because she felt that she had avenged Bella and didn't owe her anything. Anyone who hurt Bella has paid the price. I looked at the smiling photo on the tombstone, and tears rolled down my eyes. Bella, you will always be Daddy's good girl. Rest in peace. Be sure to keep your eyes open when you are reborn in your next life, and don't choose such an irresponsible mother again.